Hi Elise, in this recording I'm going to re-demonstrate the 3 exercises that I've asked you to do for this week and that will work towards the final piece of dance design. The first of those is walking on for the first time. The second is an indication to time. And the third is the next part of the poem, which talks about all the creatures in which you're showing the creatures of the earth. So I'm just going to do these one at a time. So just to back up a bit, I want you to keep a couple of things in mind for most of the dance movements that we're going to make. Firstly, because you tend to stand with very locked back knees, I want you to start to lighten them off at all times. It'll change something, it'll make something unusual in the feel of your stand and your posture. And it will make some muscles work a little more than you're used to having them work. However, they'll train up very quickly. Within that, so if you feel that kind of light bounciness in your knees, see, it's not stuck back there and it's nice and bouncy there. The other thing is that then the knees should always be in line with the foot. And you can have a look at this from time to time. Look over the top of the knee and see whether it's actually in line with the foot. And the third part of that is that we'll sometimes have the knee bent so that the tip of the knee or the kneecap is in line, vertically in line with the tip of the toes. And we may actually get down a little deeper, but kind of you don't go a lot more than that in the bend. We'll talk about that as we go along. Nonetheless, that alignment is very important for the safety of the knee and your ankle. And so when we're talking about different types of movements, again, we need to make sure that that's actually happening when we've got weight on the leg, so whichever leg it is. So back to walking. So just stand evenly to start with, and when we're doing this on stage, you will be walking back from a way back. So you're going to, when you lift the first leg you're going to step with, just change the weight, move it onto one leg, keep that a little bit balanced there, okay? A little bit not locked back. And you get control there. Gradually you'll find that that's where control comes from, control of dynamic movement. So you're not just stuck in one position. And then when you lift that foot, the step forward is going to be with a pointed toe, okay? Now don't straighten the knee right out with this, but as you're going to step forward, you're going to be straightening that a little bit. And then you're just going to put the pointed toe down on the ground. And as you take the weight, the knee is going to stay a bit bent, but you're going to roll back on the heel. I want to show you that in front on, because it's important when you're doing this, you start with at least a slightly wide base. And when you move and lift that toe into position, and then take the step forward, I want it to maintain at least the width. But maybe if you point it a little bit outwards as you come down, that will help with that. And you're going to come down, and as you come back on the heel, your weight shifts forward for that. You see the knee is over the foot, and you're just coming up on that back leg. So it can be a smooth, eventually it'll be a smooth action, so you're just down on the foot and back up on the leg, right? And then when you lift that one, it's kind of the same, almost think of it as slightly changing direction. And on the foot as you come up. Right, great. So we're going to show you from the side again. So we're going to step back. And then within that, as you come through that, and you've got this weight on that, the whole body elongates up through your spine, through your head. And so while you might want to at the beginning or feel the need to look down to see that you're getting these alignments right, ultimately it's having the eyes up. In your house, actually, almost the best point is, again, the corner of the room, where the ceiling touches the room. Brings everything up if you're looking up that way. And then when you're in that position, you're just going to, again, bring the other leg forward and step a little bit that way. So then you're going a little bit to that direction, you're coming down, you're gathering your weight, coming up. And so your walk will look something like this. Even being elongated then, the arms should be loose, not held rigid, kind of like a nice elongation. You might find if you're not used to it, yes, there might be some areas where you feel, oh, it's a bit hard to hold in that position up like that, or there's a bit of effort in there. But only have that as a moderate amount of effort. Again, the muscles just need often a little bit of training up to start to get this, what you're asking of them, and we're just stepping through. That's the walk. Now, the second part of that, you're going to be addressing time, and so as you come on stage, you really come in on stage both elegantly and powerfully, and then the next movement is to actually a gesture to time, who we're going to have as a character on stage. If, as I'm facing you, you are the audience, and then that gesture will open up your body to be facing the audience as you go through. So it would tend to be that as you walk in and you take one step through the left leg going forward, and then as you take that step, your body can then be both pointing towards time. You can bring that hand up. And now this is a gesture of both pointing to, but it's not like doesn't need to be like that. It can be just like there you are, gesture with your hand. And when you're doing that with the foot, you can actually, I've come forward because I'm in that position, and so you can hold that now a little, and the words would be, and these are going to be spoken by someone else, or maybe even a chorus line, will be devouring time. Great. And so your gesture will just be holding, and there might be some, as we work this out, while that is the phrase, we might add a few more like song parts, like just repeating time or devouring time several times. Sonnet goes on to talking about blunting the lines. We haven't worked out fully a gesture for that. The part we did go on to was all the earth's creatures, all the earth's brood, and indicating the earth and its brood in that movement. So that will be certainly a stepping around movement. We talked about turning around. So the turning around that we can do here, and it might not be from this position, but let's say it is basically coming back to a position, and then you open up your hands, and this is a low position. Open up your hands, and you're going to offer with your hands the spread of all the earth and its brood. That's what you're going to do with that. So the hands come low because you're showing this is it. And you're showing that it's all around, so then the work is going to be to come around. Now it's important to have the knee over the foot, and you're going to bring that other leg around. We talked about this in the twirling class, a bit like that. And this can be a repetitive movement. And again, we don't need to make it hurried. And then finally, because you're the audience, you'll end up in this position. And that'll set off whatever the next movement is. So you can do all these in pieces. We've got the walk in, gesture to time, and then we've got turning and showing.